Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to another boat design for the game of Raft by Redbeet Interactive. I know it's been a while, but I have a new design originally it was inspired by Noah's Ark. I had set out to make a design that was heavy on animals. However, during play, I decided to go with a single engine design and keep it smaller and allow it to be built fairly quick. While trying to stay true to the Ark design of solid wood, it became very clear that visibility was an issue and it wasn't very aesthetically pleasing. And so the design turned into more of a pleasure cruiser. So, with that, let's take a look at the features. Also, before I forget, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get all of my future content. And let's get started. All right, design and features. I don't really have a name for this particular boat yet, but I'm hoping that everybody can help me out through the comment section. I took some liberties with this design. I think we come in at 108 foundation tiles, -4 for the single engine, and the anchor means you're going to need at least 4 nets minimum, which I know most of you will put far more than that in your boat design. So let's kind of go through and take a look at this new feature that we have. So I have one fewer smelters in this. I was able to make it work with three. I mean, you could probably put them closer together and get a fourth one squeezed in there. Of course, I have tons of storage with labels because I can never remember where I put anything. I did take small design, put in a poop coop with some reading material. Um, and I also made sure to put some railing around there so I always fall through those. I don't know why. I need to put some here and I haven't done so yet. Again, like I said, I had started this design trying to make kind of Noah's Ark. It was going to be heavy on the animal side, but when I made it or designed it so it looked kind of like what most people are used to seeing for the Ark, it was aesthetically not very pleasing and came out to be pretty large. It wasn't very practical if you're going to build it during gameplay. So I've come to this design, which is a little more open. You're going to notice here on the first floor that you have a lot of visibility, and during gameplay, it's almost a necessity, really. Being in a boat where you can't see is just tough. Of course, we've got biomass fuel here. We've got our biofuel there. Um, Everything's connected. I don't have any vertical piping in this design like I did the last design. We've got 3 ingress, egress. We've got the 2 doors there, and then of course up here in the front we have these 2 for getting in and out. Um, I think this boat has more animals than my last 2 boat designs. Even the biodome, I think, didn't have as many spaces for animals as this one does. As you can see, you can get a huge amount of animals in here, and as long as you have the ability um, to support the waterers, you should be good. I guess you could turn some of these other stations into, if you wanted to put something else there or more storage, I guess you could definitely do that. But let's also, I kind of used so I could have less walls. I tried using these here to give me some more supports and kind of keep the design more open down here. Let's go upstairs. A little bit less gardening in this one than my last design. Um, Definitely lots of storage here. Sorry, I kind of went crazy with the paintbrush. Um, Fairly open design here as well. We've got our galley, much larger than my first boat design. You could probably squeeze another barbecue in here, but it's probably not necessary. Got a bedroom in here. Few design features. Normally, I let you guys do all the decorating. I'm not really one for decorating. That's pretty personal. Um, but again, it's pretty open design. Got our research table in here. Um, lots of visibility. Thank you to Redbeet for putting the controls for the engine here, so you don't have to always run downstairs to either drop the anchor and turn off the engines. Even though I'm making this design in creative for the purposes of making this video, during play, I obviously had I had tons of bird nests up here for being able to harvest feathers, and my guess is you will probably have some the same. You can fish from up here if you like, though I tend to do it more when I was downstairs up near the front of the boat. We're going to go ahead and get into how to build this. I know it looks a little complex, but actually once you get down to doing it, it's actually pretty easy. Design elements are pretty good. So let's get started on learning how to. Oh, I should mention one other thing. I know that I do not need the reinforced foundations throughout the entire boat. I did that for aesthetic purposes here. When you are playing the game, just remember you only need to do the outside edge with reinforcing, and that will keep the shark off of your backside. When playing the game and building this raft, I kind of started with this back section and just kind of played with here where I had a sail and just, the basic anchor, and tried to build out the edge, and then just, concentrated on getting the ingots going as quickly as possible so that I could reinforce the outside edge to kind of, get the shark out of the way. And then, once you have that, you just kind of build the outside edge first and build it as you play, and then obviously make it to the second floor once you get there. Anyway, that's my new design, so let's go ahead and figure out how to build this. All right, so for the first phase, I think the easiest way to describe setting up the base is you go 8 tiles across and then go 11 tiles to here. And then once you've done that and you've filled in all the center, then you can start doing the angles until you get to a point, so on and so forth, putting the reinforced tiles around the outer edge. Now, as far as the post, you'll notice I've used 2 different designs for the posts. I've got your basic wood design here and then the newer posts on the inside. And I did that specifically because aesthetically it looks a little more pleasing on the inside and just kind of accents it more. So basically what I've done here is, let's see, maybe I guess this is easier to do the outside ones. So basically from that corner, the 11th tile up, basically what you want to do is do these 2 first, and then you'll notice it's every single tile, and then just 1 every tile all the way to the end. And then come back up here, same thing. You'll do these 2 at this angle, and then this one in the corner, and then all of those every single tile on the end. And then for these center ones, it's a little different. Let me zoom up here a little bit. So in the beginning, you've got the 1 in the center, and then you go down 1 tile. Notice it's 2 blocks wide. And then you've got 1 block and you do a tile, or excuse me, a post again. And then it's 2 tiles, post, 2 tiles, post, 2 tiles, post. And then now those are 3 together, 2 and then a post, 2 and then a post, and then 1 and a post. And then basically the other side is going to match it. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this particular build, we're using a half post on top of it to get the height and the arches that we want. So you're going to want to go through here on each one of these. Oops. You're going to want to go on each one of these and just continue to add those. Now we're going to be doing the floor supports for this, and I don't think I'm missing any, but if we are, we'll take care of it when we get closer to. And then of course just matching these with the right tile. You can see that I do it, and then just kind of go around with each one. we're going to start to do the floor braces, which will end up supporting the um, the second floor later on, and we'll get past that. As you can see, it's getting dark, so I'm going to go ahead and put these, and then we'll move on to doing the arches as soon as I figure out what the command line is again. But there, we've got our posts and our base. All right, so we're going to start putting the triangular walls. These are the rustic ones on the outside. You can just kind of start from the back of the boat and just kind of work your way up towards the front. You can see I've put some here. When you start to get to the front of the ship, where it actually starts to angle, these last two rustics, you will put them facing inward towards each other like that. So come over here, and you'll do this same thing there. So they're kind of pointed towards each other. There you go. And then, of course, just make sure all of these are done on the outside. When I was doing the post, I forgot there are 2 posts here at the end as well. Sorry about that. All right, and then we're using a little designer triangular wall here. Go to the, we'll go to the triangular solid wall. And basically, you're just going to start from here in the front. You leave that one open, and you just kind of make your way around. And this makes the telltale arches that you saw, the arch design you saw earlier. And some of these we're probably actually going to take out, like especially when we start doing the stairs, the stairwell, we are going to change out some of these rustic ones for some of the more easier design ones, but we'll do those when we get to that point. But as you can see here, you've got your main arches, of what serves as your main arches. We've got these end designs here, and I mean, if you want, you can start the back wall is complete, and it is the nice solid wood wall. So if you want, you can put that up. That's going to serve as a solid wood later. I actually think we came in here and actually fill this space in. I left the corner ones on my design just because you'll see the line on the other side. So that kind of makes your back wall, and that gives us our archway. If you give me a second here, I'll kind of zoom out for you so you can see where we're at now. So kind of looks complex, but once you just start building it, it's really not that bad. And here's your corner arches and your main arches going through. So that gives you that design. All right, so let's move on. All right, we're going to start on the outside walls. We're going to start in the back left of the boat first. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with these solid window frames. You're going to come up a total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we will switch to the solid half wood window, and we're going to end up removing some of these for a door, but basically just to make it easier on yourself, if you do that and then do the wall window on the last 5, wall window on the last 5, and then you've got your small windows down here as well. Now for your hallway here and the walls, or the walls that make up the animal pens, as it were. So we'll start with the left side facing the front. We'll start with the left side. We've got a wall, and then we're going to have a door here, a wall, and then a door here, and then a wall, and then a wall. So if we come back through here and do the doorways. You've got one doorway there, one doorway there, doorway there. And actually, I think this is actually the opening to the water. So if we go to the other side, we've got opening, doorway. Let's switch back to our half wall. Half wall, those actually should match. Then you've got a door, opening, right? So this is door, blank door, wall, door, wall, door. There'll end up being a door here, and then you've got wall, wall. So let's put in our doorway. There we go. And for the internal walls, we're actually going to go with the solid wall itself. And basically, there's that one. And let's match it on this side. There we go. And then let's see a larger one there. So I think this one is the large ones. There we go. And just to make sure, double check on this side. We've got wall, door, wall, door, wall, wall. And then we have an opening. Which means I think, because this is actually the watering, so I've got these wrong. They go that way. Pushing these, oops. Make sure I'm doing this right. So these are the skinnier pins, and then these are the larger pins. All right. And this is going to end up being our stairwell. And this is also where I did the watering station, and I believe, yeah, so we had a wall there as well. So that gets us to our first doorways. All right. There you go. I like to have those actually go inward. There you go. So that gets your first two doors. That gets your first pen set. And we're going to be starting on our stairs going up. And oops, we're going to pick the solid stair design to start with, and those should line up. Now we're going to be doing some unusual stuff here by the walls, because we actually kind of build out these walls a little bit, but we're going to start with, we need to do a landing. So you're going to want to come in here and grab your solid frame wall there. It is going to stick out. That is by design. Like I said, we're going to fix that as we come in here and start adding. So what we'll do is we'll close off this space by adding this, right? And do the same thing over here. And it'll make sense. And then we're going to come in and grab these half walls, turn them around, And we'll do the same thing over here. There. And we'll be cleaning this up here as well. Give you a little preview. We're just going to grab solid wall, close that in. Same thing here, solid wall. And that kind of gives you your basic shape for the stairs. Of course, each one of these is going to be different as we go through, but this gives you the basic framework. Now here we're going to end up, we have to take out those to put in a second floor space, and it will make sense in a second. You're basically creating a landing, and you're going to take that away. And then here we'll grab the smaller stair, and that gets us up to our floor level here. And of course, we block all of this in, and we're using the solid half wooden walls to block that in as well. And we just rinse and repeat on this side. Grab your solid wall. And that gets you your initial transition to the second floor, which is where we'll be putting the floor slash, I guess, ceiling tiles, depending on your perspective. But that gets our main opening here. The stairwell, our doorways are in. We've got our opening for our watering station. We've got our animal pens. And we are ready to start doing the ceiling and closing this. All right, let's get started with the solid wooden floors. You can see that I already got a little bit of a head start here. If you had any question as to whether or not, it looks like I forgot a post there. We'll take care of that in a second. I was going to say, if you have a situation where the floor is not fitting, you will absolutely know that you've forgotten a post somewhere. And in this case here, it looks like I forgot a post. It looks like I did it on both sides too. So we'll go back then and fix that in a second. Let us see if we can do this without falling through again. Almost fell through that time. And of course, we have some angled pieces. I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I'm using the solid wood floor for these. And the same thing here with the solid triangular floor for getting our pieces here. And of course, we are also doing it on this side. That's kind of open air down there. Trust me, you'll thank me when you go to try fishing. All right, let's see if we can figure out which, somewhere in here we forgot a post, and I suspect it is going to be, it's either going to be here. I think it's going to be here actually. So we'll do the big one, we'll do the small one, and let's see if I'm right. And I am right. I want to keep that one open, so let's do the same thing over here. I could go back and change the entire video and remake the whole thing, but I'm hoping that you guys will be somewhat forgiving. There, that gives us our basic openings. All right, so the base floor is done. And if we take a look down here, you can see that It's pretty much open air there, which is like we had. So feel free to take a plunge. All right, so at this point, we are ready to start working on the design of the second floor. And let's take a little zoom out so you get a chance to see the basic setup here. There you go. All right. All right, so let's get started on the second. Before we get up to the second floor, we forgot a couple things down here that I'd like to just finish off real quickly. We need to box in these stairwells and add some design feature here. Again, we're using the triangular solid walls here. And I believe we had one here as well. Yeah. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the walls just to get them out of the way. That way we don't forget. This obviously is going to be the poop coop. And so let's go ahead and put the doorway on the poop coop here. And you can leave that open air. I think a good skylight's always nice in a poop coop. Want good ventilation. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go back up top here, and we're going to start. You can see I've done a few walls here just to remind me of the base. So basically starting at the edge of the stairwells coming up, you've got two solid walls. We are using the just basically solid wooden walls, and it's basically each one of these is a 2x6 space, and we are going to do the doorway and then go here. You'll notice this comes out one extra on either side. That is by design because we have two stairwells that are going to be going up there. On the outside edge here, I have switched to using the thatched window with the ribs facing inward. And we'll continue this theme pretty much on the outside as it relates to the rooms and, of course, the captain's quarters. And up here, we'll follow the same. Also, don't go all the way to the corner here. We're going to leave that open. We've got an antenna and the wind streamer or whatever that are going to go there. And then, of course, right here, ribs facing inward, we have these to kind of block off some of our workbenches that are going to be there. All right, so because it's needed, you're going to have to go ahead and put the door on now. So again, we're going with the solid wooden door. Whether you like it to open in or out, that's up to you. All right, so ceiling's a little more complex here. I find we're going to start with the thatched roof corners and get those out of the way first. That'll make it less complicated for you. And then we'll go ahead and do, let's just do our regular thatched roof. One on each side. Now I know it looks off, but let's put one of our solid stairs. Let's put both of them in while we're here, just because it makes it easier to build these roofs. All right, so when you get to this point here, you are going to go back to your solid half wooden windows. And you're going to put one on each side, like so. And then you'll go back to your roof tile, and you're going to be grabbing the wooden roof end caps and positioning those so that they butt up against each other. And then you've got these little openings here where we just use those solid wedges, and that blocks it in, and that gives us the basic roof design. So as you can see, it's pretty easy. Obviously, you come over here and just rinse and repeat. Go back to our thatched corners, adjust accordingly, grab our thatched roof tiles, put one on each. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you. I think you can slow down the video. Go back to our windows, put our windows in place, grab our wooden end caps, adjust so they're butted up against each other, and then grab our wedges to finish it off. To the other side. Look at that. Easy peasy. All right. Matches there. Great place for a picture on each side if you're OCD in any way and need to level that out. Put a picture or something there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a post here because I know we're going to need it. And I'm going to come up here and we're going to go ahead and do the floor / ceiling, which again, we're using the solid wood tiles. Make note you've got some angles here. Again, like below, if you're missing that post, this isn't going to work for you, so you'll know right away. Let's grab the triangular solid wood, get our wood spaces in here, and again, you've got an extra down there, so just point it out. There you go. It gives you your base up here. You'll notice that I had the something similar like so. And then we grab the same roof tiles we were using before, except for in this case, we're just using one-sided. And then I think I used just a little half wall there. So you can put your bird nests in there. And as the sunlight starts to fade, we can start putting in yeah, we can start putting in these. There, easy enough. So, and I'm just going to go ahead and, well, we'll have to get some design features. I mean, this pretty much takes care of the gist of the second floor. We will, obviously we have some design features that we need to add, and we still have some more railing to put up, which I guess I can do before the sunlight fades. Plus it'll help you when you're putting your trees, in. I think here probably did solid, but I could be wrong. There we go. Put a solid there. Come back over on this side. We'll do, if I can get it just right there, which will allow you to put your railing up. Let's keep it nice and symmetrical. All right. This is really the basic shape. I mean, at this point, you're pretty much done. You know, like I said, when you're playing the game, you're going to spend most of your life in this probably 8x5, 6 space for a while until you really start to get the iron ore going, get it smelted, and then add your outside frame first. I wouldn't even bother with the center until you get these in place and reinforced. And then, you know, obviously fill in the first level and then just kind of work your way up as you go. You'll be surprised how quickly this goes, especially if you kind of take time from the actual storyline to actually harvest the materials you need to actually build this. And of course, if you have more netting, I would keep the netting to this center space if I were you, just so that it doesn't interfere with your animals, especially those laying eggs. All right, so we're pretty much done at this point. Let's go on to the final phase, and we will decorate. Well, I thank everybody for joining me for another boat build. You know me, when it comes to the design stuff, I do kind of leave that to you guys. It's very personal. Everybody likes their own style, has their own unique style. I'll just go over and obviously show you some of the features here. you can see that right off the poop coop, you've got your 3 holes for your engine. Though I didn't show it in the very entrance, you do want to add a charger here for your batteries. And it just kind of fits off of this. Still gives you lots of spaces here where you could use nets. And of course, you've got your anchor over here situated. It's a little tight in here. Sometimes you have to kind of jump to get over. But if you put those rails up, you won't fall in when you're getting there. And sometimes you can just get to it at an angle. So it's a little tight there, but you'll make do. Of course, I've got the watering station here. Piping does take up a little bit of space in this hallway, so I know I told you maybe to stick here with your netting. And you're probably just, if you don't want to be wasting resources on nets, maybe get your plumbing in place. Well, I know that's hard to say because 9 times out of 10 the nets come first. But I generally, this kind of works for me as a single individual. I put some honey generation in there. I know it's a bathtub, but it can be an animal trough. I'm just saying. Jesus, I got a lot of eggs in there. All right, so let's go upstairs and see what we did there. Again, you may have your own little design. This may not be enough garden for you. You could very easily start you've got enough space here. It's a pretty wide open area. You could expand and have some smaller garden boxes there. I generally like to have lots of storage so I can just organize stuff. For me, it's just kind of cluttered, but it gives you some ideas of what you can do. String some lights up there, kind of looks nice at nighttime. I think in my opening I didn't have my garden boxes in here. Sometimes you can get birds when you put it close to the open window like this, so maybe throw in a scarecrow or two, and that'll probably keep them off of it for you. Got a lot of open space in here as well. Got your workbenches. You notice we had put those ribbed thatches here and left that space open so we could have the windsock and the antenna there. And I ended up putting all their antennas just inside here on the outside edge of each room, and that's sufficient for you to actually be able to have a working radar. So there you go. That is my not Noah's Ark design. Again, I'm not sure what we should name this boat. I'm going to look for you in the comments to come up with a suggestion. I'm going to throw out, we'll call it the poop coop, but I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you guys think we should call it. But we will see you next time. I think that next boat's going to be that speedboat I was talking about. Something about 6 engines. You can make the boat as large as you want, and it always goes the fastest speed. So, of course, I don't like gigantic boats, but that'll probably be my next design. Thank you for sticking through it for this long, and I'm going to go ahead and put timestamps in the descriptions, so if you need to bounce around between the different design sections, you won't have to continually be looking through everything. You can just jump to what section you need, and we will see you next time.